A guten Erev Shabbos, my dear friends. This week, Parshas Tzav, we take out two Torahs. In the second Torah, we read Parshas Para, the portion of the red heifer. And this is the holiday of Purim we had this week. But first of all, remember to light the Shabbos candles here in Brooklyn. We light at 7 p.m. Men, make sure to put on tefillin before sunset. And please pray for our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land in Eretz Israel. And may all of the hostages come back safely, securely, miraculously. So why are they afraid of the red heifer? I don't know if you saw in the news, there was red heifers in Israel importing them from Texas. And some of the enemies are saying, look, the Jews are about to build the temple and they want to sacrifice the red heifer. So first of all, we have to relax. That will happen when Mashiach will come, and then the Goyim, the nations of the world, will encourage us. They will realize the specialty of the holiness of the Jewish people and the Holy Temple. But let's understand, what is the red heifer all about? In a sense, the mitzvah of the red heifer represents that bond, the essential bond between a Jew and God. There was a story, one of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, one of his emissaries, went on his journeys here in the United States, one of the cities, and he spoke to a Jew that needed encouragement in observing the Torah and mitzvahs. And they told him that in the Torah, there is 600,000 letters. Every Jew represents a letter. If there's one letter missing, the whole Torah is disqualified. Our job, he says, is to make sure to fix. If a letter gets erased, we need to fix it. And they came back to the previous Rebbe and they reported what they said to this Jew. The previous Rebbe thanked them, but he told them that the analogy was not exact. He says a Jew is not like a letter that is written in the Torah with ink. A letter that is written with ink can be erased and needs to be fixed. A Jew is like a letter that is engraved in stone. That can never be erased. It can only be covered with dust, and the job is to remove the dust and reveal the essential bond that is never disconnected. That is the Jew. You see, in the Torah, there is laws in the Torah that has logic. And there is laws in the Torah that are beyond logic. The ultimate law that is beyond logic is the law of the red heifer. That when a person is impure, we can purify him by bringing the red heifer, burning it, and sprinkling the ashes on the person, and the person becomes pure. That's a law that is beyond logic. And it's called, in the Torah, it says, Zois Chukas HaTorah. This is the law of the Torah. Now, the law of the Torah, the word chukah comes from the word chakika, which means engraved. So when we perform the mitzvah of the Torah, you can perform mitzvah with logic, and you can perform mitzvah that makes no sense. What's the best way of performing a mitzvah? You would argue that you're supposed to perform all the mitzvahs, even the mitzvahs that make no sense. We have to perform them just like we do the mitzvah that makes sense. Because we are Jewish and we observe every mitzvah that Hashem commands us. But Chassidus explains that there is a deeper way of performing the mitzvahs. And that is, the mitzvah that makes sense, we do them not because they make sense, but because it is Hashem's commandment. We don't steal, not because it makes sense not to steal, but because Hashem says, Lo tignov, do not steal. When we do this mitzvah that way, that brings out the deeper connection between us and Hashem that is beyond logic. This is how it's connected with Purim. What saved us was the connection, the deeper connection that we have ad lo yada, beyond logic. Haman couldn't figure this out. It is mitzvah also connected with the mitzvahs that we read in the Parsha, Tzav. We read about it, bringing the offering of the sacrifices. The ultimate offering that we bring is a thanksgiving offering. It says this is the only offering that will never be canceled, not even when Mashiach comes. Why? Because that comes from the depth of the inner essence of a Jew. The Modeh Ani, giving thanks to Hashem. That's why in the morning we wake up, we say, Modeh Ani lefanecha. We give thanks to Hashem even when our hands are impure. Because ultimately our connection, our bond with Hashem is connected essentially. So now that we will perform this mitzvah of the red heifer in the spiritual sense, connecting to Hashem, to every mitzvah, beyond reason, and do them just as good, that will lead that we will have the red heifer in the holy temple in Yerushalayim by the coming of Mashiach very soon. Amen. Have a good Shabbos.